Well, welcome back to another video on the channel. We're here in the driveway and it's filled with just a bunch of trucks. So we got the Raptor R, as you guys know. This is my first press vehicle ever, and it's from obviously Ford. And then we have the Ram TRX, and then we have the regular Raptor as well. So the main question that I've gotten since the first video in this truck is a comparison between the TRX and the Raptor R, because these two are by far the baddest trucks that you can buy out of the box that are performance off-road trucks. But which one is better, in my opinion? So that's what we're going to try to figure out in today's video. So we're going to start with like just quickly the exterior and then the interior, and obviously the engines, and then take them for a drive, and then at the end of the video hopefully we can get a little race going. So that's the purpose of today's video. So this is just going to be a very real life comparison, you know, nothing super fancy. All trucks look like crap, they're all salty and stuff. It's winter time here. Now the first thing we got to do is we got to move the R up so it's right next to the TRX. So of course we need a cold start for that. What? Yeah, huge improvement from that Raptor over there. It sounds so much better. Alright, so we got it moved up real quick, and since we did a cold start here, of course we got to do one on the TRX as well. And we do have a coarse exhaust on the TRX. It's one of the milder ones though, so it's not like crazy loud. Cold start wise, I don't think it's that big of a difference, but here we go. From stock, I mean. It's definitely louder than the R, and it's up to you guys which one sounds the best, the TRX or the Raptor R. Alright, so first things first, we're obviously going to talk about the engines, which are pretty similar, at least when it comes to the performance numbers. So we'll start with the TRX here. It's got this big plasticky part right here. Underneath here is basically just an air filter. And we got a TRX eating a Raptor, which is funny. But this is a 6.2 liter Hemi V8 supercharged, 702 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, compared to the Ford's 5.2 liter supercharged V8. This thing produces 700 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. So it's down 2 horsepower and it's down 10 pound-feet of torque. But as we all know, it's all about power to weight ratio. So yesterday I got both of these. Hey kitty. I know. Which one you like the best, huh? Anyhow, yesterday I got both of these trucks weighed, and the TRX actually weighs 500 pounds more. We all knew it weighed more, but I didn't know it was 500 pounds more. We'll check out the slips. Alright, so we just got it weighed. So Raptor R, 6,040 pounds. Alright, so we're back with the TRX, and the TRX is actually, let me see here if we can zoom in, 520 pounds heavier than a Raptor R. So there we have it. So this comes down to opinion, of course, but which one do you think looks better? Raptor R is slightly updated, you know, front end with mainly the red R, or they say it's like code orange or whatever, but looks red. The orange tow hooks, then a little bigger scoop here, just slightly different graphics, but it's still the same width as a regular Raptor. But which one looks beefier and which one looks better? I think the TRX, in my opinion, looks meaner. Now we got 1350 wide tires on they're 35s versus 37s on the Raptor R, but there's 1350 wides on the TRX, so it makes it look a little beefier. Now for a Raptor R, you can only get it with 37-inch tires versus 35s for a regular Raptor. The TRX sits on 35s, although tires are wider. But yeah, which one do you guys think looks the best? Now we're going to take a look at the interiors, and I could go on and on and on with this type of comparison forever. It gets boring. We're going to keep it kind of short. Obviously they're not completely the same, they're different brands, but this is the interior of a Raptor R. We got suede inserts in the seats. We don't have that on that Raptor over there, although they're the same generation. Now a Raptor, whether it is an R or a regular EcoBoost over there, we have the fully digitalized instrument cluster, which is very nice, and it's customizable depending on which mode you want to drive around in. And one thing with the Raptor is that we do have a 2 high. We have 4 high, 4A, and 4 low as well. Of course, in a TRX, it's always an all-wheel drive. You don't have a 2 high option, so you can't drive a TRX in 2-wheel drive. You got 12-inch screen, big phenomenal backup camera and everything, 360 of course. A Raptor R comes fully loaded. The only options that you can pick from are this full moonroof here and the exterior color. So you have every feature. You have heated cooled seats, heated steering wheel, 360 camera, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping system, all that boring stuff that you really don't need. You got full power plugs here, 12 volt. We have it in the back, and then you got like a double glove department box type setup here. The interior of the new generation Fords are extremely nice. You know, again, it's going to come down to opinion once we jump into the Ram here, which one you guys like the best. But yeah, I think maybe Ford beats the Ram when it comes to the interior, at least the newer ones. All right, so we'll jump into the Ram here. We have a leather interior. Now, this is a TR1 package. You can get a higher equipment package for the Rams and the TRX, where you can get different inserts, you know, colors and stuff in the interior, that kind of thing. But we do have a little suede here. We got suede on the mid console right there. A little carbon fiber, suede here. And as we jump in, start it up. Not a fully digitalized instrument cluster. So we got analog gauges for the tachometer and the speedometer, and then obviously the mid screen there. And then we have more of a vertical screen versus what the Ford has, more of a square, like a mini TV almost. Both are great. They're very responsive and so on. Backup camera in the Ram is great as well. Don't have a 360 version on this equipment package of my TRX here. One thing I don't like about the Ram is that everything is done from the screen. So if I want to turn the heated steering wheel on, I do that here. I have to go onto the screen and do the heated seat as well. On the Ford, we have buttons down here for stuff like that. You can do it on the screen as well, but you also have actual buttons. The Ram does not, and that's one thing I don't like about the Ram's infotainment screen. Everything, you have to do everything here, which is kind of annoying. Now the Ram has like a double department box as well, just like the Ford, which is cool. I like that part. So I keep like my registration and insurance and stuff in there. The Ford has the updated sound system called Unleashed. It has like 18 speakers or something like that. There's speakers in the headrest and all that stuff. And it's supposed to be really good, which in my opinion it's not. My TRX also has the updated stereo system. It's a Harman Kardon, and it's much better in the Ram versus the Ford. Now the Ram has an 8-speed transmission. The Ford has a 10-speed transmission. We'll talk more about that once we get them out on the road, which we are going to do right now. Okay, so we're going to do a pull here in the TRX, and then we'll do the exact same pull in the Raptor R, and you guys can tell the difference between the sounds here. The TRX is much louder. It sounds great. You hear that blower, and it feels more raw in the TRX versus the Raptor R. And just the driving experience is different as well. The TRX definitely feels heavier. We all know it is 500 pounds heavier, and you can actually feel that. With that being said, I still think that this will take the Raptor R from a standstill to 60. It's something to do with just the transmission and the tuning. The TRX also comes with launch control, although I've noticed that it actually doesn't launch better with launch control, so I never really use it. A Raptor R does not have launch control, so you basically kind of brake boost a little bit and then just go for it. I've gotten 3.5 seconds 0 to 60 in this truck. That is my best time, and that's just insane from a 6,500 pound truck. Now you can shift manually if you want as well, so you just move the gear lever over to the left, and then we got paddle shifters right here, and it is actually pretty responsive for a truck. The regular Raptor and EcoBoost is horribly bad when you try to shift that manually. See, it's actually pretty responsive, pretty quick. There's been an improvement to the Raptor R, which we'll demonstrate here in a second as well. So you can actually drive a Raptor R manually as well if you want to. It's always had these, you know, paddle shifters here, but I've always felt like they're completely useless because they shift so slow. But now it's actually better now. All right, so we're gonna attempt to do a launch control here. So we're gonna put it in Baja mode. There we go. And then that automatically turns off traction control. And we could use launch control, but we're not going to do it. It's just, it's too complicated and it doesn't really work well, I've noticed. And then we're just going to get out here, brake boost a little bit, and do a launch. All right, so now it's ready. It has a performance meter here, which is pretty freaking cool. The Raptor definitely doesn't have that. We're going to wait for this guy to get out of the way here, and then we'll launch, see what time we get. 3.9, which is the most common time that I get. This thing launches so aggressively. It's insane. And it's so consistent. Like I said, I've gotten 3.5. That's my best time ever. And that's only happened once, but it's consistently, you know, 3.9 around there. Yeah, this thing, I love this truck. It's just so brutal. And transmission tuning and everything, it just flies off the line. But yeah, let's drive home, switch it up, jump in the Raptor R, and do exactly what we did in the Ram, in the Raptor R, and then we'll put them head to head. All right, so we're in the Raptor R now. We're gonna do the same pull that we did in the TRX, and you guys are gonna be able to hear the difference in the sound. So check this out. And it's just weird. I don't understand what Ford did with the interior sound, because when you're doing a pull like we just did, it sounds like a sewing machine. It's a weird induction sound thing. I don't get it. They should have made it sound more raw, like the TRX. So that's like, it is very quick. And Ford says that, you know, although it has the same engine as the GT500, the torque curve in the Raptor R is a lot better than it is in a GT500. And I would have to admit, I've driven both, and the Raptor R, it pulls very good. You can feel the torque across the range. So even when you get up to speeds, it's still pulling very good. And it feels torquier than a TRX actually, although it has less torque than a TRX. But as we mentioned earlier, it seems like Ford has really tuned the transmission, because in our current Raptor that we have, that's not the R of course, it has the same transmission to my knowledge. It's just that it shifts extremely slow. In the R here, it shifts pretty freaking quick. I'm impressed. That's very nice. So now you can actually use these paddle shifters here. So we'll do another little pull here, and you guys can be able to tell yourselves in regards to the transmission. See, in the lower RPMs, it sounds pretty good. When you get up there in the RPMs, it sounds like a sewing machine. Listen to this. Oh. That's a weird sound, man. It should be just a louder growl. But transmission-wise, excellent. A lot quicker, manual-wise. So I like that. But the one thing that, you know, the rumors that are going around now in regards to Raptor Rs is that transmissions are actually going bad. I think there's 3 reported cases already where transmissions have blown up in the Raptor R. So yeah, I don't really know what all that is about. But currently, I actually really like this transmission in the R. You know, hopefully it holds up though. Now, of course, we got to do a little pull in the Raptor R as well. It doesn't have a performance meter, so we're not going to get the time currently. You can see the marks from the TRX right there. But we have it in 4 high. Traction control is off. We have it in sport, so we're just gonna do a little brake boosting here, and then we'll get a little pull. Oh yeah, holy crap. I mean, it's quick, without a doubt. It is quick, but it's so hard to differentiate which one is quicker, because it's a different experience. Like when you put this in 4 high and you do a little brake boost and a launch, it's enormous amounts of like torque steer and stuff. You don't really get that in the TRX. It feels like more planted, and it spins the wheels and it just goes straight. You don't fight the steering wheel like that. Yeah, I guess we have to put them up against each other, head to head. Brian, what the hell? You got completely smoked.
Dude, that was crazy. I had to jump, and you.
I wondered if there's some kind of driver mod thing going on here, man.
It but that was.
Yeah,
I was
dude.
Not expecting that. For an end, I thought it came off the ground. I was like, son of a gun.
All right, we got some more runs to go though.
Nice.
Dude, that last run.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. I'm surprised, man. This thing is really freaking quick.
It's a river. I mean, it was, on most of the passes, it was substantially noticeable that this is definitely the faster truck.
Yeah, I think when the correct driver gets in here, though, it gets a lot more even. No, but the thing is, it takes a little while to learn how to properly launch this thing and like what mode to keep it in and stuff like that. On that last one, the R got a little jump, but pulling pretty even in the TRX. But those other runs, I mean, the R was quicker, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
I could tell just by sitting in the passenger seat of the R when you were ripping it, you definitely have your hands full.
I know.
Compared to this one. This one definitely seems.
This thing launches like a car.
Yeah.
It sits like flat on the ground. When you have it in 4 high or 4A, it's torque steering like you're going. It's completely different
you can definitely feel the body
experience.
roll,
Completely different. Yeah,
this is
for sure.
More composed on the street version.
Yeah, this is more of a street truck, you could tell, versus this is more of an off-road truck with a lot of power.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, I mean, I had my old F-150 and it was supercharged. I mean, on paper, more horsepower than this, but it just goes to show you how tuning and like putting everything, building it together with transmission and everything, that it matters, because this thing is quicker than my old supercharged F-150. So yeah, I'm surprised, man. Very surprised.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to get spanked all day long by the TRX, but no.
I mean,
they're very, very even,
Yeah.
depending on who gets to jump and stuff, but I thought the TRX was going to win every time, and it didn't.
well, I
So-
don't think they would have built this truck unless
No.
they were trying to beat this truck. So
Yeah, who knows? All right, well, there we have it. It's a 20-minute Raptor R versus TRX comparison. Kind of the best way that I could do it. Thanks to Brian for being able to be a chauffeur of the TRX here during our little races. My original plan was to go to Harrisburg and meet up with Mike, Street Speed. He doesn't have a TRX currently at the moment, although he's owned probably like 7 of them. Just at the moment he doesn't have one, and I couldn't get this truck and that truck down there. Thankfully Brian could be a chauffeur of the TRX, so fun to see him again. And I know probably a lot of people will be like, well, you should have done more off-roading in the trucks, and that might be true, but there really isn't all that many good off-roading spots around here where I live. So, you know, most people use these trucks as street trucks anyhow. And we did some races, and it was very interesting. This truck is a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be honest with you, because TRX usually spanks everything, and the other videos that I've seen, the TRX usually wins. But yeah, very interesting. Fast truck, awesome truck. We still have it for a few more days, so there's going to be more videos coming of the Raptor R. I'm going to do a proper review of it as well, and then yeah, that'll be that. Now leave it in the comments, which truck do you guys like the most? Is it the Raptor R or is it the TRX? And if you guys have enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Give it a huge thumbs up. If you're stopping by for the first time and you haven't already and you want to, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.